Hello and welcome to the Sleepy Narrator. I'm truly delighted you're here. Whether you are tucked beneath a cozy blanket, gently swaying in a favorite chair, or simply letting your breathing ease after a long day, this place was created for you. Tonight we begin a serene and curious exploration, not just through space or stars but into something far more subtle. Time. Time is all around you. You live within it, you pass through it, you track it with clocks, calendars, and memories. But tonight, we set aside the rush of minutes and the constant ticking of hours. We'll drift softly into another kind of time, one that bends and meanders like mist across a still lake. I should mention, I've done my best to make this journey deeply soothing. Yet science, even sleepy science, has a way of being unexpectedly fascinating. If it keeps your thoughts active for a while, I hope it carries you somewhere peaceful and maybe somewhere just a little wiser. If you're already finding comfort in this gentle space, I'd be grateful if you offered a soft like to the video. And if you'd like to support the Sleepy Narrator and help more dreaming minds find their way here, there's a super thanks option below. You might also think about becoming a channel member. It means more than words can say. And now, with your body settled, your mind open, and your thoughts beginning to drift, let us float together to the very edge of time. It doesn't start with a bang or a bell, but with a hush. Time. It's a word you hear every day, but when you pause and really listen to it, it becomes slippery, like water running through your fingers. It slips away from definition. It refuses to hold still. Even the sound of the word itself feels quiet, doesn't it? A soft exhale of syllables, slow and light. So what is time? You might say it's the ticking of a clock, the rising and setting of the sun, the rhythm of waking and resting. But those are merely signs of time, the shadows it casts upon the world. Time itself is much harder to grasp. Yet every moment of your life has taken place inside it. Every thought you've ever had unfolded in its current. Let's begin then with something simple, a straight line. Imagine sketching one across a blank sheet of paper from left to right, beginning to end. That line is how most of us picture time. A past, a present, a future. A road we walk forward step by step. But physics tells another story. It whispers that the line may curve, that the future might ripple backward into the past. That time, this ever-present companion, may not be constant at all. As we drift tonight, we'll wander through many corners of this mystery. But first, picture yourself standing completely still in a vast field at dawn. The air is crisp, the sky a pale wash of lavender blue. Off in the distance, something glitters, a dew-soaked web catching the very first traces of sunlight. Perhaps time is like that web. Each strand links to another, moments stretching outward and meeting at fragile points. Depending on where you look and how, a different form appears, a different story takes shape. For centuries, people believed time was absolute, the same everywhere for everyone. Like a river flowing always forward, always at the same pace. But in the early 20th century, a gentle-spoken man with a wild imagination, Albert Einstein, suggested something revolutionary. Time, he said, is relative. It changes depending on how fast you move, or how close you are to something immense. It curves near stars, while it stretches aboard fast-moving rockets. The ticking of your watch might not match someone else's, not because the watch is broken, but because time itself flows differently for each of you. You'll hear more about this later. For now, just hold the thought softly. Time is not fixed. Close your eyes. Picture yourself lying on a blanket beneath the night sky. Above, the stars look motionless, eternal. But what you see is not the present moment. That starlight began its journey hundreds, thousands, even millions of years ago. Some of the stars you gaze upon may already have vanished. The present is never quite what you believe it to be. This chapter is about beginnings. Not only the start of our story together, but the dawn of curiosity itself. That warm little ache that rises when you sense something hovering just beyond understanding. Tonight, let that ache be comfort rather than confusion. You don't need to solve time. You only need to listen to it. It's around you in the steady beat of your heart, in the breath that slows as you grow still, in the silence between words. Some scientists now ask, what if the future can influence the past? It sounds strange, like a riddle, but in certain quantum experiments, tiny dances of light and particles, that's precisely what seems to happen. The result of an experiment may depend on what is about to occur, not only what already did. It's as though the universe is telling a story not word by word, but all at once. The ending whispering to the beginning, shaping it like hands molding clay. You don't need to believe it. You don't even need to fully understand it. Just rest with it. Let it sit beside you like a quiet companion. Tonight, we've only touched the edges, a single step into a forest filled with questions. Already, though, time feels less like a ruler and more like a painting, one in which every brushstroke matters, even those not yet made. Your life, too, is a painting, a blend of memory and moment, and perhaps something yet to come that is already waiting to touch your now. As you sink deeper into calm, I invite you to carry one small, gentle question with you. What if the ticking you hear is not time moving, but time pausing to listen? And if time can listen, what else might it remember? Next, we'll wander into the body itself, to see how you keep time even in the depths of sleep. There is a clock within you, not a mechanical one, not made of gears or glowing numbers, but a living rhythm that beats quietly beneath your skin. Even as you rest, your body is keeping time. It notes the rise and fall of your breathing, feels the pulse within your wrists, sways softly with the hidden beat that sustains life itself. Time for you is not only what happens on the wall or a glowing screen, it lives deeper than that. Tonight we turn inward. Begin with your breath. Slow, gentle, steady, inhale, exhale again. This rhythm is ancient. Long before you could ever count, your lungs were already keeping time. This is your first metronome, natural and enduring. One that synchronizes not just your physical body, but your thoughts, your emotions, even your dreams. Scientists call this your circadian rhythm, a graceful phrase meaning about a day. Your body is tuned to a cycle just over 24 hours long, like a cello string pulled to just the right pitch. This rhythm whispers to every cell, guiding you when to wake, when to sleep, when to eat, when to pause. And the most remarkable part, you don't have to think about it. It's always there, a quiet hum beneath the noise of living. Deep inside your brain, nestled between regions shaped like almonds and seahorses, sits a small cluster of cells called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. It rests just above where your optic nerves cross, close to your eyes. That's no accident. This clock listens to light. When morning arrives and sunlight filters into your eyes, even behind closed lids, this cluster of neurons wakes and resets your body's time. It nudges hormones into action, cortisol to rise and energize you, melatonin to wait until night. This biological clock is gentle yet powerful. It keeps your organs in harmony, like musicians in an orchestra tuning to the same note. And when darkness falls, the rhythm shifts. Night brings its own magic. It signals the release of melatonin, your body's lullaby. Thoughts begin to slow, your core temperature cools, your blood pressure lowers. Like a conductor lowering their hands, it guides the body into stillness. Even now, as you lie here, you're not just drifting towards sleep. You're aligning with an ancient internal time shared by nearly every living being on Earth. Plants unfold their leaves at dawn. Flowers turn toward the sun. Crickets chirp in rhythm. Corals glow by moonlight. Life everywhere keeps time. Even single cells adrift in the ocean know when to divide, when to rest. You are not separate from this rhythm. You are the rhythm. And yet your body holds not one clock but many. Every organ, your heart, your liver, your skin, follows its own ticking pattern, guided by the master clock in your brain, but each moving in its own subtle dance. Imagine it, trillions of cells, each one aware of when to mend, when to rest, when to divide, all of it happening as you lie still, unaware. This harmony is so complete that when it falters, when your rhythms are disrupted by late nights, glowing screens, or long flights, your entire system feels off. You call it jet lag or burnout, but in truth, it is your inner clock searching to find one another again. Even your emotions move with rhythms. Your mood, your focus, your creativity all rise and fall across the day. You may notice yourself more alert in the morning, more contemplative at night, or most alive just as the sun begins to fade. None of this is random. All of it is time flowing gently through you. You might wonder, how did these rhythms begin? Why 24 hours? The answer is simple: Earth. As our planet slowly turns once every day, it creates cycles of light and darkness. Life over billions of years learned to follow that cycle until it became written into the blueprint of biology. Your ancestors, long before clocks existed, lived by that rhythm. They woke with the dawn, they slept beneath the stars. Even now, without any devices, your body knows the hour. It listens to the color of the sky, the angle of the sun, the length of shadows. This internal time is ancient, steady, and true. And still, time feels different depending on how you live it. When you're in a hurry, it rushes. When you wait, it drags. When you're lost in music or love, it disappears. How can something so real also be so subjective? The answer lies in your brain, in the way it measures the passing of moments. One part of your brain, the basal ganglia, counts short bursts of time. Another, the cerebellum, handles rhythm and motion. Still another, the prefrontal cortex, estimates longer spans and remembers them. Yet none of these parts uses a clock the way your wrist or phone does. Instead, your brain listens to patterns: movement, memory, heartbeat, blinking eyes. It pieces together a sense of time from countless sensations. That's why time feels elastic. A dull meeting seems to last forever. A joyful afternoon passes in what feels like minutes. Memory shifts time too, making distant events feel recent, while recent ones fade quickly into the past. Time is both real and felt, and those two are not always the same. So tonight, as you rest and your breathing slows, remember this: you carry hundreds of rhythms inside you. You are a song made of clocks. Some tick with sunlight, some pulse with emotion, some count stars, and all of them in their own quiet way follow the same invisible thread, the one connecting your body to Earth's turning. Feel that turning now. Feel the slow spin of the planet beneath you, how your breath joins its motion. You are not still. You are part of a vast wheel moving with the sky. And while your inner clock keeps its gentle beat, another rhythm waits to guide you, one made of light, distance, and the slow journey of memory across space. Tonight, we'll follow that rhythm and let starlight show us how to see through time. Light is the oldest traveler. It moves faster than anything else in the universe, yet it carries with it the patience of time. You can feel that patience when you look at the stars. Tonight, let's follow it. Close your eyes for just a moment. Imagine a single beam of starlight. It begins deep within the heart of a distant sun, unimaginably hot and bright. It weaves its way through thick layers of plasma, then finally escapes into open space. From there, it glides freely for hundreds, thousands, even millions of years. And at last, after all that waiting, it reaches you. That faint glimmer above your head isn't now, it's then. When you gaze at stars, you're not looking at the present. You're looking into history. This is one of time's gentlest tricks. The farther away something is in space, the further back it is in time. Light requires time to travel, and space is vast. So when you look into the night sky, you see a mosaic of pasts layered together, like old parchment sheets stacked upon each other. Each star has its own timestamp, written in photons. The nearest ones are from a few years ago. Some are from before humans walked upright. Some come from before Earth was even formed. You are surrounded by ancient light. Let that thought rest inside you. Let it wrap gently around your mind. Your eyes are small machines designed to catch this light. They don't just see what is here, they see what once was. You too are a time traveler. Not by moving, but by looking. This chapter is not about speed, but about patience. The patience of light, the patience of space. The way the universe unfolds quietly, offering its stories one photon at a time. Every candle you've lit, every sunrise you've seen, every glowing screen you've stared into, those are all light moving from source to eye. But cosmic light is different. Cosmic light carries memory. There is a special glow called the cosmic microwave background, a faint remnant from the very beginning of time itself. This light is more than 13 billion years old. It fills the entire sky, though invisible to your eyes. It's a whisper, a leftover warmth, a photograph of the universe as a newborn. Scientists who capture it with delicate instruments are holding the baby picture of existence. Imagine seeing such an image. Imagine touching the very first moment when everything began. That's what we do, not with sight, but with science, with trust in light's long memory. You may wonder, how can something so fast still take so long? Because space is not just big, it is profoundly empty. Even at nearly 300,000 kilometers a second, light takes thousands of years to reach nearby stars and far longer for galaxies. It moves swiftly, yet the distances are endless. And here you are, a small human resting in the dark, catching these messengers from eternity. It feels almost as if the universe wants to be remembered, wants to be seen. Each photon that arrives has a story. Some were absorbed and re-emitted countless times inside a star before breaking free. Some bent around galaxies curved by gravity, a phenomenon called gravitational lensing. Even light bends, not from weakness but because space itself is flexible. So the next time you look up, remember this. You are not just looking into space, you're reading a letter from the past. A letter carried by light, sealed with speed and delivered in silence. Your body doesn't just keep time, it receives it. And this gift of light isn't only for scientists or telescopes. It's for you. Each time you notice shadows stretching across a room, each time the late sun brushes the trees with gold, each time you glance at the shimmer of stars, you're always watching time. The sparkle in someone's eye, the glow of morning, the faint glitter of night, all of it is time arriving as light. Now let's think about the very act of sight. When photons reach your eyes, they strike the rods and cones at the back, tuned to brightness and color. These cells turn the signal into tiny electrical currents. The current travels along nerves, through pathways in your brain until it becomes vision. Yet even this takes time, the smallest fraction of a second. You never live in the true now. You live just after it. You are always looking at echoes. And yet it feels whole, it feels immediate, it feels like now. The universe gives you a gift, it pauses itself and you fill in the rest. So what is the present really? Is it when the light strikes your eye, when your brain interprets it, or when your heart responds? There is no single now. There are only layers of almost now, stacked gently like petals, each shaped by light, by distance, by memory. And in that swirl of photons and feelings, you find your place in time. Let that thought rest with you like afterglow. You are made of atoms born in stars that exploded long ago. Your sight is painted with starlight that began its journey before you were born. You are the meeting place of light and time, soft, silent, and beautiful. As your breath deepens and your thoughts drift outward, you may wonder, if time can be seen through light, what happens when it bends? What happens when space curves and time curves with it? In the next stretch, we'll follow that curve and let Einstein's insight carry us beyond straight lines. You live your daily life inside a quiet illusion. It tells you space is flat, time flows straight, up is always up and down is always down. But the universe speaks another language, a language of curves, of warps, of graceful dances between matter and time. And a century ago, one man heard it more clearly than most, Albert Einstein. He didn't talk in riddles or codes. He listened deeply to what the world was saying. And what it whispered was this: time and space are not separate. They are woven together like threads in one fabric. And like fabric, they can bend. Tonight we rest in the folds of that fabric. Close your eyes and picture a trampoline stretched wide and held taut. Imagine placing a heavy ball in the middle. The fabric dips, curving beneath its weight. Now roll a smaller ball nearby. It spirals inward, not because the large ball pulls on it, but because it follows the curve in the fabric. That is gravity, not a force reaching outward, but the bending of space and time around mass. Earth circles the sun because space curves, and time curves too. You don't notice this in ordinary moments, not while sipping tea or tying your shoes or watching clouds wander overhead. But time bends beneath your feet, pulled ever so slightly by Earth's weight. A clock on the ground ticks just a little slower than one atop a mountain, and the closer you are to something massive, a planet, a star, a black hole, the more time slows. Time stretches like dough, soft and pliant. This is gravitational time dilation, not fantasy but measured fact. Without correcting for it, GPS systems in your phone would fail within hours. Satellites above tick faster than clocks on the ground. To work together, they must account for curved time. Each time you follow directions, each time your phone tells you where you are relying on Einstein's discovery. You are navigating a curved world with the help of curved time. Einstein saw it in equations, but more than that, he felt it. He imagined riding alongside beams of light. He pictured elevators drifting through space. He believed the best way to understand was not to memorize, but to feel it deep in your bones like music. And now, so do you. Take a breath. Let that breath fall through curved space. Let your sense of up and down loosen. You are floating on a planet, spinning in space, wrapped in a cloak of invisible geometry. That cloak, that bending, keeps you grounded and at the same time lets time stretch. Perhaps it helps to picture time as a river. In some places, the water rushes quickly. In others, it slows, swirling around rocks. You, drifting in the river, may feel like you always move forward. But others, caught in stronger currents or gentler ones, flow at different speeds. Their seconds pass quicker or slower. There is no single universal time. There is only your time, your own small stream running beside others. And yet these streams touch, intertwine, allowing you to meet, to speak, to love, to remember. Let's drift deeper. Imagine being near a black hole, one of the densest, heaviest objects in the universe. Its gravity is so strong, light itself cannot escape. Space bends steeply there like a funnel, and time bends even more. If you hovered near the edge, just outside the boundary, not crossing it, your clock would almost stop compared to someone far away. To you, a minute would still feel like a minute. But to the outside world, your minute might last hours, days, or years. This is not fantasy. It's measured in theory and mathematics and confirmed in experiments. It's part of relativity. Near a black hole, time itself slows almost to a halt. And the twist does not end with gravity. It appears again in motion. The faster you move, the slower your clock ticks compared to others. Ride a ship near the speed of light and your time stretches out. You age more slowly. You might return home to find decades passed in what felt like only months. This is special relativity, another gift from Einstein, showing us that speed and time are deeply connected. Even though you're not racing through space tonight, you are still moving. Earth spins, Earth orbits, the galaxy rotates. Time never stands still, and neither do you. You may not sense it, but the twist is always there. And here, wrapped in calm, you can rest knowing time is not rigid. It bends, it adapts, and so do you. You stretch with your thoughts, you shift with your emotions. You change pace with joy and with grief. Perhaps you too are made of bending time. Einstein revealed the universe is not a machine ticking endlessly, but a story unfolding. The past doesn't vanish. The future doesn't simply arrive. They all exist together in a shimmering whole, a fabric of space-time you drift through gently. And what if, just ahead in that fabric, something unusual happens? What if time itself stretches like clay? What if motion and gravity tug at it like taffy? Let's explore these stretches. Time doesn't always move as you think. It lengthens, it sways, it curves like sunlight bending through water. Begin again in stillness. Let your breathing slow. Let your thoughts move like ripples on a quiet pond. Nothing hurried, nothing sharp. You are floating. And as you float, time floats too. You've already heard how Einstein showed that time bends with mass and motion. But what does that feel like? Can time really stretch? Can one person's second truly be longer than another's? The soft and surprising answer is yes. Time is not the same for everyone. Everywhere it changes, it stretches. Picture yourself on a train moving swiftly across an empty plain. Inside, everything feels normal. Your heart beats. Your watch ticks. You sip tea, watching the countryside slide by. But to someone standing outside, watching you pass, things appear different. They see your time move a little slower. Your heartbeat stretched, your seconds lengthened. Almost invisible, so subtle it hides, but it is there. Now imagine that train not moving at ordinary speed, but close to the speed of light. The stretching becomes dramatic. A journey that feels like a day to you could look like decades to someone left behind. Time loosens its grip with speed, but motion is only half of the story. Let's return to gravity, the great sculptor of space-time. The closer you are to something heavy, the slower your clock ticks. Gravity presses down not just on matter but on moments. It squeezes them, slows them, thickens them like honey. You've likely never felt this difference. On Earth's surface, the change is tiny. But imagine someone at the top of a mountain. Their clock ticks slightly faster than yours at sea level. Not by much, maybe nanoseconds, but it's real. It's been measured. Even your head ages slightly faster than your feet. Time bends under weight. And still, time never skips or stutters. It flows smoothly, always forward, always in harmony with where you are and how you move. That's the quiet beauty of time dilation. It doesn't break your sense of time. It simply shifts it like music played in a different key. Now imagine yourself in a spaceship gliding through deep space at incredible speed. To you, life feels normal. You read, you think, you sleep. A month passes. But when you return to Earth, decades are gone. Your friends older, the world changed. Time in your frame flowed differently than theirs. This is not imagination. It's been proven in real experiments using atomic clocks flown on airplanes and satellites. Astronauts on the space station even now experience time slightly differently than those on Earth. Their seconds tick at a different pace. And still, from within, time feels whole. That's what makes it so quiet, so miraculous. It never feels stretched. You're always in the center of your own moment. Everything around you moves in sync. But from outside, your time may look slower, longer, drawn out. It's a dance between perspectives, each one true, each one real. Einstein called this the principle of relativity, the idea that every observer has their own valid experience of space and time. There is no single clock ticking for all. Only personal clocks. Time is yours, it follows you. And in that there is deep comfort. You are never late to your own life. You are never behind. Time meets you exactly where you are. Let that truth soften your breath. Let it spread across your chest like a sigh. You are not chasing time, you are flowing with it, even when it stretches, even when it sways. Perhaps you felt this already in human ways. A summer evening that lasted forever. A conversation that slipped past in minutes. A walk that felt endless not in length but in depth. This is emotional time, psychological time. It moves like physical time, stretching, swaying. In joy, it shortens. In sadness, it lengthens. In boredom, it drags. In wonder, it vanishes. You're not just a passenger of time. You shape it, you feel it. Even now, as your eyelids grow heavy and your breath deepens, you are guiding time into softness. Seconds lengthen between thoughts. Space widens between words. You are stepping into the place where time stretches just enough for sleep to find you. Let the minutes drift. Let the clocks blur. As you rest in this swaying moment, there's one more idea to hold. If time can stretch, if it can bend, then the light we see must carry traces of those stretches. In the next journey, we'll follow that light again, not across distance but across ages. We'll listen to how it travels through time itself. Light does not simply move, it remembers. Each photon that brushes against your eye has carried a story, sometimes across impossible distances. And as it travels, it doesn't just glide through empty space, it drifts through time itself. The universe is not a silent hallway but a shifting, curving fabric. And when light travels across it, it bends and stretches, carrying the imprint of the journey. This bending has a name: gravitational lensing. Imagine holding a magnifying glass over a candle flame. The light curves through the glass, warping and stretching into new shapes. Galaxies, stars, even black holes do this same thing. Their gravity bends the very space around them, and light follows that curve. Through telescopes, we sometimes see one galaxy doubled or a distant quasar split into arcs. These are not tricks of the eye. They are echoes of bending space. They are reminders that light is never free from time's grip. Each of those arcs, each of those warps, is also a delay. The light bends around massive objects, taking longer to reach us. So when we see lensed galaxies, we are not only seeing them farther away, we are seeing them deeper into the past. It's as if space placed a mirror in front of you, but the reflection it shows is not of your present self. It is of your yesterday, your last year, your long ago. And light doesn't only stretch in space. It stretches in time. When the universe expands, so does light's wavelength. Photons leave stars with a particular color, but as they travel across an expanding cosmos, they lose energy, their waves lengthen, and they arrive to us redder, cooler. This is the redshift. It is the universe's way of telling us how long the journey has been. The deeper the red, the longer the voyage. So each time you gaze into the sky, you are not seeing color, you are seeing age. The faintest smudges of light, those soft, distant galaxies, are not just far away. They are ancient. Their glow began its voyage long before humans walked the earth, some before Earth even cooled from fire. When you look at them, you are holding history in your eyes. Let's pause here. Place your hand over your chest. Feel your heartbeat steady and strong. Each beat is a mark of time, a pulse in your own body. Now picture a photon, one that began its journey billions of years ago. In the time between its first step and now, your heartbeat has happened countless times. Civilizations have risen and fallen, oceans have shifted. Yet only now, only in this second, has that photon reached you. Two stories, yours and the photon's, meeting in silence. This is the essence of cosmic time. It is not measured only in hours or calendars. It is measured in light years, in the patient drift of photons, in the memory written across the sky. And when you notice it, when you let yourself really feel it, the smallness of a human lifetime does not seem like a loss. It feels like belonging. You are part of something vast, a thread woven into light that began long before you. Now imagine this light traveling even further, slipping near the edge of a black hole. There, time itself slows nearly to a halt. To a distant observer, the photon lingers endlessly, frozen on the edge. Yet from its own perspective, it moves smoothly, continuing on its way. This is the paradox of time near gravity's extremes. One story from one angle, another story from another. Both true, both whole. Time is not one river, it is many. And that raises a deeper thought. If time can bend, if it can flow differently depending on where you are, could it also circle back? Could the future whisper into the past? Some experiments hint at this possibility. In quantum physics, the smallest scales of nature, outcomes sometimes seem influenced not just by what happened, but by what will happen. A decision made now appears to ripple backward, shaping the path that led here. It is as if time, like a story, is not written line by line but all at once. Past, present, future, interwoven like chords in a song. Sit with that gently. You do not need to solve it or even believe it. Just let it rest. Imagine your memories reaching forward and your future already reaching back. You exist in the middle, in the stillness of the present, but all directions may be alive. Your life then is not a march but a dance. Steps behind you, steps ahead, all part of a rhythm that is larger than you. And in this rhythm, light is both messenger and memory. Every sunrise carries the story of 8 minutes ago, the time it took sunlight to cross the emptiness between star and planet. Every moonlit night is history, a moment delayed by distance. Even the glow of your own reflection in a mirror is not truly now. It is a fraction of a second old, the time light required to touch glass and return. Everywhere you look, you see not the present but the past. And yet somehow, you feel the present as if it is whole, as if it has no delay. That is the gift of consciousness. It stitches fragments into one. It makes echoes feel immediate. It makes you feel alive in a now that is always slightly behind. So what then is the true present? The smallest sliver between past and future, or something broader, a region of perception, a window your mind opens. No one knows for certain. The present may not even exist as a single point. It may be a story your brain tells, a gathering of scattered signals into something you can live. But even if it is an illusion, it is a beautiful one. It is the place where you breathe, where you dream, where you rest. And tonight, in this soft space, you are resting in it fully. Time slows, stretches, bends, but here, you let it simply be. No deadlines, no ticking clocks, only the hum of existence. You and the universe breathing together. Beyond the stars lies another question, one we can't yet answer. Is time endless? Does it flow forever, or does it curve back upon itself? Some theories suggest time began with the Big Bang and will end in a quiet stillness billions of years from now. Others suggest cycles, universes born, universes fading, universes born again. If that is true, then even endings are beginnings, and you live within a loop far greater than memory. But tonight you do not need to choose an answer. Tonight you only need to rest with the mystery. Time is not a problem to be solved. It is a companion to be listened to. And as you breathe slowly and gently, feel how it listens to you in return. Each inhale, each exhale is its own moment. A heartbeat, a rhythm, a small eternity all your own. Now think of this. Just as your body holds rhythms, the universe holds them too. Galaxies spin, stars pulse, planets orbit. Even atoms, the smallest pieces of matter, vibrate with hidden beats. Everywhere rhythms, everywhere clocks. And all of them together make up the symphony of time. As you drift towards sleep, you are not leaving this symphony. You are becoming part of it. Your breath blends with the turning earth, with the drifting galaxies, with the redshifted light from the dawn of everything. You are not separate. You are the rhythm, the memory, the light. You are time listening to itself. And when you wake again, the music will still be there, waiting, gentle, endless. You will step back into the flow, your story continuing in the fabric that curves around you. Time, as we have seen, is never as simple as the ticking of a clock. It bends with gravity, stretches with speed, and flows differently depending on where you stand. Yet even with all these twists, you still live as though time is steady, reliable, always forward. But deep within physics lies a stranger idea, that maybe time itself is not fundamental. Maybe it is not the root of reality at all, but something that emerges like the surface of water hiding deeper currents. Think about temperature. You feel it every day, warm sunlight, cool wind, heat from a stove. But temperature is not truly a basic thing. It is an average, a description of how countless atoms move. It exists only when you step back and look at many particles together. No single atom has a temperature. It is only when they gather that temperature appears. Could time be the same? Not a primary feature, but a pattern that emerges when many things interact. This is one of the great mysteries. In some theories of quantum gravity, equations that describe the deepest levels of the universe do not even include time. Instead, they speak of relationships, how things connect, how they transform. Time, in this view, arises only when we step back, only when we watch the whole picture. Just like temperature, it may be real to us but not ultimate. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Imagine peeling back the layers of reality until you reach the smallest, deepest scales. There, you no longer find ticking seconds. You no longer find past and future. You find only possibilities, patterns, probabilities. And from them, time appears like music rising from vibrations. It may sound unsettling, but in another way it is gentle. If time is not ultimate, then perhaps it is not something to be feared. It is not an enemy to race against. It is a song we are invited to join. And when the song ends, it does not mean silence forever. It means the rhythm shifts, becomes something new. Even now, you live inside these rhythms. Every breath you take, every memory you hold, every dream you form is built on time's melody. But if you look closely, You notice that even memory itself does not play in straight lines. You do not recall every second equally. You recall moments that matter. Time in memory is not measured by clocks but by meaning. Think of your childhood. It may feel distant, yet some moments shine as brightly as yesterday. A laugh, a fall, a touch, a voice. These fragments are not arranged by minutes or hours. They are arranged by emotion. Your memory is a timekeeper, but it keeps time with feeling, not precision. And dreams take this even further. In dreams, you sometimes live hours or days in only minutes of real time. The brain's theater bends and stretches the experience of duration. You wake, surprised, wondering how long you slept. Dreams remind you that time is never fixed, it is pliable, woven by perception. So when physics tells us that time may be emergent, not fundamental, it echoes something you already know in your bones. You already live inside an elastic now. You already shape time with memory, with attention, with sleep. Imagine this. Perhaps the universe itself dreams. Perhaps what you call time is the universe's way of remembering itself, of linking its patterns into a story. And you are one of those memories, living, breathing, glowing in the fabric. Take a breath now. Slow, deep calm. With each inhale, imagine drawing time into you, not as a line, but as a cloud, soft and shapeless. With each exhale, imagine releasing it, letting go of the minutes, the pressure, the weight. You are not bound to clocks. You are not bound to calendars. You are resting in the wider rhythm. And as you rest, think of another secret. Time and entropy. Entropy is the measure of disorder, of how energy spreads out. It is why ice melts, why smoke drifts, why broken things do not unbreak. Entropy always increases, and it gives direction to time. Without entropy, you would not know past from future. A movie could play backward and look the same. But because entropy rises, you can tell what came before and what comes after. Broken glass does not leap back together. Heat does not flow from cold to hot. Entropy creates the arrow of time. Yet entropy is not an enemy. It is the reason stars shine. It is the reason energy flows through you, keeping you alive. Entropy moves the universe forward and you with it. Even as things fall apart, new things form. Even as structures dissolve, new rhythms emerge. Entropy is not destruction, it is change. So when you feel the years passing, when you notice the shifts of age, remember this. You are not falling apart. You are moving with entropy, moving with the arrow of time. You are transforming, becoming. Each wrinkle, each memory, each heartbeat is part of the same unfolding. Now return to light, the great traveler. When photons leave a star, they carry not only brightness but entropy too. They spread energy across the universe. And in doing so, they trace time's arrow. The night sky is full of entropy made visible, starlight scattered, energy flowing outward, the cosmos in motion. And yet within this outward flow, you find order too. Galaxies form. Planets orbit. Life emerges. Out of entropy's growth, beauty blooms. That is the paradox. Disorder gives rise to structure. Chaos births stars. Change creates stability. As you rest here, remember that you too are part of that paradox. You are made of atoms scattered by ancient stars, atoms that once belonged to chaos but now form your body. You are entropy's child, but also its balance. You hold order and change together in one being. Time may bend, it may stretch, it may even emerge from deeper patterns. But to you it is also personal. It is breath, memory, heartbeat, dream. It is the flow you live inside, the flow you shape with every thought. So tonight, let yourself float in that flow. Do not resist. Do not hold tight to clocks. Let time soften, widen, open. Let yourself drift. For in drifting, you are closest to truth. In drifting, you are part of the universe's own rhythm. And one final thought to hold. If time is emergent, if it is not ultimate, then perhaps endings are not endings at all. Perhaps they are shifts, transitions into something beyond measure. Perhaps your life, too, is not a line but a rhythm that changes form, moving into patterns unseen. Rest in that thought, rest in that rhythm. Time is not an enemy, it is a song. And tonight you are listening to it with your whole being. Everywhere you look, time leaves its trace. It marks trees with rings, rocks with layers, mountains with scars. It etches itself into fossils buried deep, into rivers winding across the land, into galaxies spiraling outward. Time is not invisible. It is written across everything if you know how to read it. Scientists call this reading of time geology, cosmology, history, but you already practice it every day. When you see wrinkles around a smile, when you notice dust gathering on a shelf, when you sense the distance between childhood and now, you are reading the traces of time. The past never truly leaves. It remains, carried forward in marks and memories. And yet, for all these signs, time itself cannot be touched. You can hold a stone, but not the millions of years it holds. You can remember a voice, but not the moment it was spoken. Time is not a thing, but a relation, a way of connecting events. It is both everywhere and nowhere. This is why some thinkers describe the universe as a block of space-time. Not flowing, not unfolding, but already there, entire and complete. In this view, the past, present, and future all exist at once, laid out like pages in a book. You move through them, one moment after another, but the story is already written. The future is as real as the past. You simply haven't reached it yet. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself walking through such a book. Each step you take is another page. Behind you, pages filled with memory. Ahead, pages still hidden. But the book itself, whole and finished, already exists. Every laugh, every tear, every star born and every star dying, all of it there, woven together. You are both inside the story and the one reading it. This vision is called the block universe. It is unsettling for some, freeing for others. If true, it means the flow of time is an illusion, a trick of consciousness. But even illusions can be useful. The flow of time is what allows you to live, to hope, to dream. Without it, you would be frozen in a page, unable to move at all. The illusion is the gift. And yet there is another view, equally deep. It says the future is not fixed. It is open, unwritten, created as you move forward. Each choice, each chance, each breath shapes what comes next. Time, then, is not a block but a path being laid with every step. You are not walking through a finished book. You are writing it. The pages ahead are blank, waiting for your words. Both visions exist side by side. Physics leans one way, human experience another. And perhaps the truth is larger than either. Perhaps the universe is both book and path, both written and unfolding. You are both reader and author. Think of it this way. When you look at the stars, you see light from the past, but in seeing it, you also create meaning in the present. The stars are both history and now. Maybe time itself is like this, already there, yet also alive through you. Take a breath and let that paradox rest gently in your thoughts. You do not need to choose. You only need to wonder. Now consider memory again. Your brain does not record every instant. It selects, edits, compresses. Sometimes it invents. Sometimes it reshapes. Memory is not a photograph but a painting. Each time you recall, you repaint, adding new strokes, new colors. In this way, memory is alive, always changing. And because memory changes, so does your sense of time. Events that happened long ago may feel recent if they are vivid. Events that happened yesterday may fade if they carry little meaning. Time in your mind is not measured by clocks but by stories. You live not in seconds but in narrative. This too may be why time feels so personal. The universe's clock ticks in relativity, in entropy, in expansion. But your own clock ticks in meaning, in moments you hold dear. That is why some weeks vanish quickly while some nights stretch endlessly. The clock is constant, but your story is not. Dreams remind you again of this truth. A dream can hold entire journeys within minutes of sleep. It shows you how flexible perception is, how elastic your sense of duration. It suggests that time, for consciousness, is not fixed at all. It is created in real time, like a song improvised as it is played. And when you wake, you stitch the dream into memory, giving it a place in your timeline, even though the dream itself had no steady rhythm. You weave it into the story of your life, smoothing its edges. You are always weaving, always creating continuity. Without this weaving, life would be fragments unconnected. With it, life becomes a river. Now think of language. Every word you speak takes time to form, to hear, to understand. Communication is built on sequences, on the unfolding of moments. If time did not flow, speech would collapse. You could not listen, you could not share. Time is the stage for connection. Without it, silence. With it, conversation, laughter, story. Even now, as you listen, your mind is stitching each word into meaning. Your brain takes sound, translates it into sense, then strings it along a thread of time. By the time you understand this sentence, it already belongs to the past. You live one step behind always, yet it feels immediate. Time bends to make presence possible, and in this bending lies a secret comfort. You don't need to capture the present perfectly. You already live in echoes, in afterglows, and those afterglows are enough. They feel whole, they feel true. Let's return now to the cosmos, to where time leaves its grandest marks. The expansion of the universe itself is one such mark. Galaxies drift farther apart, carried by space stretching between them. This stretching is not motion through space, but the growth of space itself. Like dots on a balloon as it inflates, galaxies separate because the balloon grows. The farther they are, the faster they drift away. This expansion creates time on a cosmic scale. It tells us there was a beginning, a big bang when the universe was smaller, hotter, denser. From that moment, time has stretched outward. Each second since then is part of the same expansion. The universe is not static. It is unfolding, like a flower blooming in unimaginable slow motion. And what lies ahead? If expansion continues, galaxies will drift so far that their light may never reach each other. Stars will fade, black holes will evaporate, energy will spread thin. This possible future is called heat death, a quiet stillness where entropy has reached its peak. Time would not end but change. The arrow would continue, but with no more stories to tell. A universe without contrast, without flow. But other possibilities exist. Perhaps expansion will slow, even reverse, pulling everything back in a great collapse. Or perhaps the universe cycles endlessly, bangs and collapses, rebirths and endings, rhythm upon rhythm. If so, time itself may be circular, not linear. Every ending a beginning. Every beginning an echo of what came before. Again, you do not need to choose. The mystery itself is enough. The future of time is still unwritten, still unknown. And you, small and luminous, live within its unfolding. So tonight, let your thoughts expand like the cosmos. Let them drift outward without hurry, without boundaries. Imagine yourself a galaxy, carried gently on space's stretching fabric. You do not need to control where you go. You only need to shine, to exist, to be. And as you shine, remember that time is not only measured in seconds and years, but in the glow you leave behind. Light from your laughter, your kindness, your presence, travels outward too, carried in memory, carried in love. You are part of the universe's story, part of the light moving across time. In this way, time is not something outside you. It is you. You are the rhythm, the memory, the unfolding. You are both reader and author, both traveler and path. And as you close your eyes, you are also dreamer and dream. There is another way to think of time, through motion. Without motion, there would be no way to measure it, no way to feel its passing. A clock's hands move. The earth spins. The moon circles. Your heart beats. Each is a rhythm, a cycle, and together they give you a sense of time. If everything froze, if nothing changed, could you even say time existed at all? This question has echoed for centuries. Philosophers wondered if time is independent, flowing whether things move or not, or if it only exists because things move. Modern physics leans toward the second idea. Time and change are intertwined. Without one, the other loses meaning. Picture yourself in a room with no windows, no clocks, no sound, no heartbeat you can hear. If nothing inside changes, if nothing outside reaches you, how would you know whether minutes or hours pass? You might drift into timelessness, like a dream without sequence. Time for you would dissolve. This happens in small ways when you lose yourself in a task or when sleep pulls you under. Hours slip by unnoticed. Only afterward do you realize how much has passed. In those moments, you touch the stillness beneath time, the place where change rests and time with it. And yet in your waking life, change is constant. Atoms vibrate, blood flows, stars burn. Time is never silent for long. It hums beneath everything. Even your body keeps time. You carry clocks within, circadian rhythms, cycles of sleep and wake, patterns of hunger, hormones rising and falling. These are not measured in seconds but in waves, tuned to light and dark, tuned to Earth's rotation. You are made of rhythms, built of repeating patterns. You are a clock of flesh and thought. But your body's clock does not always align with the outer world. That's why you feel jet lag after crossing time zones, or why staying up late makes you sluggish. Your inner rhythm must resynchronize with the rhythm of the Earth. You are not a machine ticking independently. You are part of the planet's dance, and the planet itself is part of larger dances. The tilt of Earth creates seasons. The orbit around the sun sets the year. The moon shapes tides. Even your breath is part of this web. Each inhale is tied to countless cycles, the spin of Earth, the orbit of stars, the expansion of the cosmos. You are not separate. You are a rhythm within rhythms, a time within time. Close your eyes now and feel it, your pulse beating, your lungs moving, your thoughts rising and falling. These are your seconds. This is your present. And around you, larger rhythms continue, whether you notice or not. Think of music. Music is sound shaped through time. Without time, it would collapse into noise. With time, it becomes melody, harmony, song. Your life is the same. The moments alone might feel scattered, but time arranges them into a melody. Each joy, each sorrow, each silence becomes part of the whole. Perhaps that is why you are moved by rhythm, why a beat can carry you, why a song can lift your heart. It reminds you that you too are rhythm. It reminds you that time is not only passing but singing. And just as music carries memory, so does time. A song from childhood can bring tears decades later because it pulls memory into the present. The melody is both then and now. Time folds in on itself. Past emotions reawaken, not as distant echoes but as living presence. This is another way time stretches. Memory does not live in the past. It lives now each time you recall. And so the past is never truly gone. It is here, alive in recollection, reshaped by your present self. You are constantly weaving your past into your now. The same is true of the future. Hope, fear, anticipation, they are pieces of the future pulled into the present. You imagine what may come, and in imagining, you feel it already. The future, like the past, is alive now. So the present is not only this second. It is a wide field, a blend of memory and possibility. The now contains what was and what might be. The now is vast. Some spiritual traditions teach this directly, that to live in the present is not to shrink into an instant, but to open into a wider awareness, to see how past and future touch you here. Science, too, points to this when it shows how memory works, how anticipation works, how relativity binds time together. And yet, you still measure life with clocks and calendars. You still cut time into hours, days, years. These tools are useful, but they are not truth. They are human inventions, ways of ordering life. The sun does not know Monday. The stars do not care for noon. Only you divide time into boxes. The universe flows free. Think of this next time you feel rushed, when the numbers on a clock press against you. Remember that the true time is not measured by those numbers. It is measured by your breath, your being, your unfolding. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your rhythm carries you. And while you rest here, let that truth loosen the weight of minutes. Let time be wide, let it be gentle. You are not chasing it. You are floating in it. Now, return again to physics. One of its strangest truths is that time is not the same for everyone. We spoke of this with relativity. Motion and gravity change time's pace. But think of what that really means. There is no single present moment that everyone shares. Your now is yours alone. Someone else far away has their own now. The two cannot be perfectly joined. This is called relativity of simultaneity. Imagine two lightning bolts striking distant points at the same time. For you, they might appear simultaneous. For someone moving quickly, one strike may seem earlier than the other. Both are correct. Both are real. Simultaneity depends on perspective. So even the present is not absolute. There is no single universal now. There are only many nows woven together. The cosmos is not one clock but countless clocks, each ticking at its own pace, each holding its own present. And yet somehow you find connection. You share meals, conversations, laughter. You build lives together. How can this be if your present is not the same as mine? Perhaps because connection itself bends time, pulling separate nows into harmony. Love, memory, attention. These are the ways human beings defy relativity, creating shared presence in a universe where presence is fragmented. In this way, time is both physics and poetry. It is both equation and emotion. It is both the bending of light and the holding of hands. Take another breath. Feel how your own rhythm joins the rhythms around you. Feel how your own now joins the countless nows of others. You are not separate. You are woven into the tapestry, and that tapestry stretches beyond you. Stars were born before you, and their light still shines. Stars will be born after you, and their light will one day shine on others. You are one thread in this endless weaving, one note in the endless song. Time holds you, but it also carries you. So tonight, rest in the song. Rest in the weaving. You do not need to understand every detail. You only need to feel the rhythm. You only need to let it guide you like a gentle current guiding a drifting boat. Time is motion. Time is rhythm. Time is story. And you, the sleepy narrator, reminds you are part of it all. Time is not only vast and cosmic, it is also intimate. It lives inside your breath, your heartbeat, your thoughts. You experience time not only through the turning of planets but through the quiet rhythms of your body. And those rhythms, subtle as they are, shape how you live each day. Inside your brain, there are clusters of cells that act like tiny clocks. They track light and dark. They sync with the sun. They release chemicals that make you alert or drowsy. These are your circadian rhythms, the natural cycles of wake and rest. They keep you in tune with the world. Without them, you would drift, unable to anchor to the day. Think of how you feel when you stay up too late or when you travel across many time zones. Your body resists, as though it has lost its sense of where it belongs in time. That is jet lag, the clash between your inner rhythm and the rhythm of the earth. Slowly, they realign and you return to balance. But even beyond sleep, your body holds other rhythms. Hormones rise and fall, hunger ebbs and flows, temperature shifts through the day. You are full of cycles, each one a measure of time. Even your cells obey rhythms, dividing, repairing, dying, and renewing. Inside you, billions of tiny clocks tick together, keeping you alive. And yet, they do not always tick perfectly. Some rush, some slow, some falter. As you age, these rhythms shift. Sleep changes, memory alters, energy flows differently. Your sense of time shifts with them. A child feels days as long, summers as endless. An elder feels days slip by more quickly, years compress into moments. This is not illusion, it is rhythm changing. Why does time feel faster as you grow older? One idea is proportion. A year to a child is a vast portion of their life. To an adult, it is smaller, a fraction among many. Another idea is novelty. New experiences carve deep memories, making time feel fuller. Familiar routines leave fewer marks, and so time feels quicker. This is why vacations seem long and routine weeks vanish. So time is not just outside you, it is shaped by your brain, by your experiences. You carry your own clock of perception, one that stretches and compresses. And in this way, you live not in a single timeline but in many. Cosmic time, biological time, psychological time, all weaving together into your story. Pause and notice this now. Think of your earliest memory. Think of what you did yesterday. Both live inside you at once, but they feel different. One is distant, hazy, fragile. The other is fresh, sharp, alive. Both are moments past, but they carry different weights. This is how your mind keeps time, not evenly but by importance. And notice your anticipation of the future. Perhaps you are waiting for something, an event, a change, a rest. The waiting stretches time, pulling you forward. In contrast, surprise shortens it. An unexpected laugh, an unplanned encounter collapses waiting into joy. The future does not just arrive. It plays with you, reshaping the present. Now imagine living without memory, without anticipation. Only this instant, pure and raw. Would it feel timeless? Would it feel infinite? Perhaps so. For time needs memory and expectation to exist in your awareness. Without them, there is only sensation, only now. This is what some spiritual practices aim for, living fully in the present, free of memory's weight and the future's pull. It is not easy. The mind resists. It is built to remember and imagine. But in those rare moments of pure presence, time softens. You feel a quiet eternity in a single breath. And yet, even then, time has not vanished. It is still there in the beat of your heart, in the flow of blood, in the firing of neurons. You are time embodied. You cannot escape it, but you can change how you feel it. Now let's step outward again, from the personal to the cosmic. We have spoken of expansion, of relativity, of entropy. But there is another layer, the quantum, the smallest scale of nature. Here, time becomes even stranger. In quantum mechanics, particles do not have definite positions or speeds until observed. They exist in probabilities, in clouds of possibility. Time, too, behaves oddly here. Events do not always unfold in neat order. Sometimes cause and effect blur. Sometimes the future seems to influence the past. This is not fiction. It is experiment. In quantum experiments, particles can act as though they know what measurement will be made, even before it happens. Choices in the present seem to ripple backward. Time at the quantum level does not obey the same rules as at the human level. What does this mean? No one fully knows. Some suggest it means time itself may not be fundamental, only an illusion of larger scales. Others suggest time is two-way, not one-way. Still others believe it shows how deeply connected everything is, that past, present, and future are not separate but braided together. Whatever the answer, the lesson is the same. Time is not simple, it is not a straight line. It is a mystery still unfolding. And you live inside that mystery. Take a deep breath now. Let it in, let it out. Feel how your body holds time, your chest rising, falling, your heart steady. You are both small and infinite. You are one beat, one breath, but also part of the cosmos, which itself beats and breathes in galaxies and stars. And as you listen, imagine the universe not as cold machinery but as a living rhythm. Stars pulsing, planets circling, light traveling, entropy rising. Everywhere cycles, everywhere patterns, everywhere time singing its endless song. This song does not end with you. Long after you are gone, your atoms will carry on, part of new forms, new rhythms. You are not separate from time's flow. You are its expression, its momentary shape. So tonight, let go of the rush of hours. Let go of the pressure of minutes. Rest instead in the wider rhythm. You do not need to measure it, you only need to feel it. You only need to breathe. And as you breathe, remember, time is not against you. It is not running away. It is carrying you like a river carries a leaf. You do not need to chase. You are already moving, already flowing. Trust the current, trust the rhythm, because in the end, time is not only what the universe does, it is what you are. You are not in time. You are time. And the sleepy narrator is here to remind you, rest in it, breathe with it, and let it carry you gently into sleep. Time is both the simplest thing you know and the most elusive. You see it on every clock, you feel it in every sunrise, yet when you try to grasp it, it slips away. Is it a river flowing past? Is it a dimension like space? Is it an illusion spun by your mind? Physics offers answers, but each answer leads to deeper questions. One of the most fascinating is the idea that time and space are not separate, but one fabric space-time. Imagine weaving threads together. Alone, they are just lines, but woven, they form a cloth. In the same way, space and time together create the fabric of the universe. Events are not placed only in where, but also in when. A star's position means nothing without the moment it shines. Your own position means nothing without the moment you stand there. This fabric bends. Mass and energy curve it, creating what you feel as gravity. When the Earth orbits the Sun, it is not pulled by an invisible force. It is following a curve in space-time, like a marble rolling along a bent surface. And as space-time bends, so does time itself. Near a massive star or a black hole, time runs slower. Far from gravity, time runs faster. This is not theory alone. It has been measured. Satellites in orbit experience time differently from clocks on Earth. Without adjusting for this, GPS would drift, maps would fail. Technology depends on relativity being true. Every time you check directions, you are using proof that time is not absolute. Close your eyes and imagine standing near a black hole. From your perspective, your seconds tick normally. But for someone far away watching you, your time would appear slowed. If you fell in, they would never see you cross the horizon. To them, you would freeze in place, fading into shadow. To you, however, time would carry on, pulling you deeper. Two truths, both real, both bound by perspective. Time, then, is not a single river. It is many rivers, branching, curving, moving at different speeds. Each traveler carries their own stream. Each clock ticks in its own way. There is no universal timekeeper. There is only the weave of countless flows. And yet you move through it as though it were simple. You plan tomorrow, you recall yesterday, you live in now. That is the gift of consciousness. It smooths the complexity, gives you a thread to follow. Without this smoothing, the world would be chaos. With it, you find story. But sometimes the strangeness shows through. Think of déjà vu, the eerie sense that you have lived a moment before, or precognitive dreams where the future seems to touch the present. Most dismiss these as tricks of memory, and perhaps they are. But perhaps they also hint at time's deeper weave, where threads cross in ways you cannot see. Physics has even stranger hints. In quantum mechanics, particles can be entangled, linked so that what happens to one instantly affects the other, even across vast distances. To explain this, some suggest that information does not only move forward but backward in time as well. In such a universe, the boundary between past and future blurs. Consider the delayed choice experiment. A particle seems to choose its behavior now based on a measurement made later. The future shapes the past. It defies common sense, but the mathematics works and the experiments confirm it. Perhaps cause and effect are not as rigid as you believe. Perhaps time itself is flexible. What does this mean for you? It does not mean you can easily change the past. But it does suggest the past may not be fixed in the way you imagine. It may mean that memory and reality intertwine more deeply, that the story of the universe is more fluid than straight lines suggest. This brings us back to the block universe. If past, present, and future all exist at once, then perhaps what you call flow is just perspective. You move through the block, experiencing one slice after another. But the slices themselves are all real. From outside the block, there is no flow, only structure. It is difficult to imagine because you live inside. You feel the arrow of time in entropy, in memory, in motion. But step back, at least in thought, and the picture changes. You see not a line but a whole. You see not a journey but a landscape. Imagine standing on a mountain, looking down at a valley. You see rivers winding, roads twisting, forests stretching. To the travelers below, each bend is a surprise, each path unknown. To you from above, the whole layout is clear. The block universe is like that. From within, you journey. From outside, all is already there. Does this erase choice? Does it mean your path is fixed? Perhaps not. Perhaps choice is woven into the block itself, each decision a branch already there. To you, it feels alive. To the larger view, it is structure. Both truths hold. And this is where philosophy and physics meet. Physics shows you equations. Philosophy asks what they mean. Together, they lead you into mystery, but even mystery is part of time's rhythm. You do not need all answers. You only need to live within the questions, and in doing so, you find wonder. Now, return again to yourself. Think of your breathing. Each inhale is cause, each exhale is effect. But notice how close they are, how seamlessly they flow. You cannot truly separate them. They are one rhythm, one cycle. Perhaps time is like that. What you call past and future are not separate, but one flowing rhythm seen from different sides. And think of music once more. A note exists not only in the moment it is played, but in its relation to what came before and what comes after. Music is time shaped into beauty. Without time, no melody. Without melody, no meaning. Life is the same. So let yourself rest in this thought. You are not separate from time. You are time. Each thought, each memory, each dream is part of the rhythm. You are not carried by the river. You are the river. And tonight, as the sleepy narrator speaks, you are reminded of this truth. Time is not to be feared. It is to be lived. It is to be breathed. It is to be trusted. So close your eyes, feel the flow, and let yourself drift into its endless rhythm. When you think of time, you often imagine it as something outside of you, a ticking clock, a rising sun, a moving shadow. But time is also within. It is written into your biology, into the rhythm of your breath, into the pace of your thoughts. To live is to keep time, to carry the beat forward in every moment. Inside your cells, molecular clocks tick. Proteins rise and fall in cycles, guiding when you sleep, when you wake, when you feel hunger, when you heal. These cycles link to light and darkness, syncing your body to Earth's turning. You are not separate from the planet's rhythm. You are woven into it. When you ignore that rhythm, staying awake under artificial light, staring at glowing screens late into the night, you feel it. Your body resists, your energy wanes, your clarity dims. It is as though you are swimming against the current of time, and eventually you must rest, letting the current carry you again. But these inner clocks are not fixed. They shift with age, with season, with experience. Children rise early, elders often wake before dawn, teenagers sleep late. Each stage of life carries its own time signature, and so your perception of time changes with you. Have you noticed how childhood summers stretched forever, while adult years slip past like weeks? Part of this is proportion. A single year is a large fraction of a child's life, but a small fraction of an adult's. Part of it is novelty. Childhood is filled with firsts, first steps, first friendships, first discoveries. Each leaves deep memory, making time feel full. Later, when routines settle, days blur together and time feels fast. This explains why new experiences seem to slow time. A journey to a new place, meeting new people, learning new skills, all expand memory, stretching perception. Familiar routines compress it. The clock ticks steadily, but your experience does not. So time is both outer and inner. It is both the universe expanding and your memory filling. It is both galaxies drifting and a moment of laughter with a friend. You live in many layers of time at once. Consider history, the rise and fall of civilizations, the building of monuments, the telling of stories. These are rhythms larger than a lifetime. And yet, they shape your present. You walk streets paved by generations before you. You speak words shaped by centuries of language. You inherit not only genes but memory, culture, tradition. Time moves through you in ways you cannot see. And then consider the earth itself. Mountains rise, erode, crumble. Rivers carve valleys, seas shift, ice advances and retreats. These cycles stretch beyond human scale, yet they surround you. You live within a planet that breathes in ages. To a mountain, your life is a blink. To you, the mountain is eternal. Perspective shapes time. And beyond the earth lies cosmic time. Stars are born, live, and die over billions of years. Galaxies collide, merge, reform. The universe itself expands, cooling with each passing second. Compared to this, your life seems small. Yet within that vastness, you hold awareness. You carry the cosmos inside your thoughts. That makes you more than small. It makes you essential, the universe reflecting on itself through you. Pause and breathe with that thought. You are both tiny and immense. You are both momentary and timeless. You live between the beat of seconds and the stretch of eons. You are the meeting point of scales. Now think again of relativity. Time bends with motion and gravity. Imagine two twins, one staying on Earth, the other traveling near the speed of light. For the traveler, only a few years pass. For the one on Earth, decades. When they reunite, they are no longer the same age. This is not story, it is physics. This is called time dilation, and it shows how flexible time is. It is not absolute. It depends on where you are, how fast you move, what gravity surrounds you. Even your own life is touched by this. Though the difference is small, clocks on planes, satellites, even mountain tops tick differently from those at sea level. Time itself is local, not universal. So whose time is the true one? The answer, all of them. Each is real for the one experiencing it. Each clock is correct in its own place. There is no master clock behind it all. There are only countless rhythms woven together. And perhaps this is the deepest lesson of time. It is not one single flow, not one absolute. It is many flows, many rivers. You live in one, others in another. And yet somehow you connect. Somehow you share meals, words, love. Somehow your rivers meet. What if connection itself bends time? What if attention, memory, love are ways of stitching separate nows together? Perhaps that is why a moment of joy feels eternal, or why grief can freeze you. Perhaps emotions are time made visible, felt directly. Think of memory once more. Each time you recall, you rewrite. The past is not a fixed photograph but a living story, reshaped by the present. And so, in a sense, you are always editing time, always creating the past anew. And if the past is not fixed, then neither is the future. Both live in the present, carried in your awareness. This is why philosophers and scientists alike debate whether time is real or constructed. Perhaps time does not exist as you imagine. Perhaps it is only the order of events, the sequence of change. Perhaps beyond that, there is no time at all, only existence. But whether illusion or reality, time is your experience. It shapes you, carries you, defines you. Illusion or not, it is what you live within. So tonight, as you rest, let go of the pressure to understand fully. You do not need to grasp all mysteries. You only need to breathe them. You only need to feel them move through you. Think of yourself as a wave, rising, cresting, falling. A wave exists only in motion. Without time, it is nothing. With time, it is beauty. You are the same. You are a wave of consciousness, a crest in the ocean of being. And as the sleepy narrator reminds you, that is enough. You do not need to hold eternity. You only need to float in its rhythm. You are already part of it. You always have been. So let go, drift, and rest in the current of time. When you listen closely, time is everywhere. It hums in the ticking of clocks, in the rhythm of footsteps, in the rustle of leaves. But beyond sound, it is also silence. The pauses between notes give music its shape. The spaces between breaths give life its flow. Without silence, sound is meaningless. Without stillness, time cannot be felt. This is the paradox. You cannot touch time directly, yet you live nothing else. It surrounds you, carries you, defines you. And though you measure it with clocks and calendars, those tools are shadows, not truth. They slice time into neat numbers, but the reality is wilder, stranger, less obedient. Think of dreams. In a single night's sleep, you may dream what feels like hours of experience. Yet when you wake, only minutes have passed. The brain bends time, reshapes it. It is not bound to the same flow you believe governs waking life. Inside your mind, time is flexible, elastic. This elasticity is not only in dreams. It shows in memory too. A joyful moment can feel as if it lasted forever. A painful one can stretch unbearably, even if only minutes passed. And in contrast, entire months can vanish into blur if routine overtakes them. Time in the mind does not match time on the clock. Science reflects this as well. In physics, there is no single present moment stretching across the universe. What is now for you is not now for someone far away, moving differently, living in another gravitational pull. There are countless nows, overlapping, flowing, diverging. Time is not absolute. It is local, personal, relative. Yet despite this, you live as though time is unified. You arrange schedules, meet loved ones, celebrate together. Somehow, even with time fractured, you share it. You create a shared present out of countless separate ones. That act itself is a wonder. And then think of the arrow of time, the one-way flow you feel. It is tied to entropy, the measure of disorder. The universe began ordered and has been spreading, unraveling ever since. That spreading is what gives you past and future. You remember the past because it was more ordered. You do not remember the future because it is not yet arranged. Entropy builds the arrow. Imagine a glass shattering. You never see shards gather and form a glass again. That is entropy. But at the level of equations, physics does not forbid it. The math runs both ways. Only probability makes the arrow point forward. The backward path is so unlikely that it may as well never happen. Still, in the deep laws, time has no preference. Only you do. This is why some physicists say time itself might be an illusion, a byproduct of entropy, not fundamental. If the universe froze, if nothing changed, would time still exist? Or would it vanish into stillness? Perhaps time is not something the universe has, but something the universe does. Change itself may be time. Think again of music. Without movement between notes, no melody forms. Without change, no time exists. Time is the music of change, the rhythm of transformation. And you are part of that rhythm. But here is another mystery. Can time loop? Could it circle back on itself, allowing you to return to what has already been? General relativity allows for solutions where space-time bends into closed curves, where paths lead back to the same moment. These are called closed time-like curves. In such a universe, time travel is not fantasy but geometry. What would that mean? Could you meet your past self? Could you change what has already happened? Or would the loop be self-consistent, unalterable, always the same? These questions are not solved. They linger in equations, waiting for clarity. Popular imagination plays with them. Stories of travelers rewriting history, preventing events, altering futures. But physics leans toward consistency. If loops exist, they may be bound, fixed, unable to break their own shape. You could meet your past, but you could not change it. You would always have met it. The loop is stable. Even so, the thought is staggering. Time is not as linear as you feel it. It may hold circles, folds, branches. It may be larger, stranger than your imagination allows. And what of the beginning? What of the end? Time as you know it began with the Big Bang, when the universe expanded from an unimaginably small point. Before that, the word before may not even make sense. If time began at the Big Bang, then there was no before. Asking what came earlier is like asking what is north of the North Pole. The question dissolves. And what of the future? Cosmology suggests many possibilities. Perhaps the universe will expand forever, stars dying, galaxies drifting apart, ending in darkness. Perhaps expansion will reverse, collapsing back into fire. Perhaps space will tear itself apart in a big rip. Each ending is bound in time, and each ending transforms time. But wherever the cosmos moves, you live here in this moment. Your life is a brief flash in the great timeline, but in that flash, you hold awareness. That makes you part of the universe's story, as essential as galaxies. So tonight, rest in that. You are not separate from time's mystery. You are its expression. You are its unfolding. The sleepy narrator invites you to breathe, to let the weight of hours drift, to feel the gentle current of moments carrying you. You are safe in the flow. You are part of it. You are the rhythm itself. Time stretches before you and behind you, but you only ever stand in the present. The past is memory, the future is possibility, yet both live within you now. Your mind carries recollections, your heart carries hopes, and together they weave the tapestry of your experience. Think of how memory works. It is not a perfect record. Each time you recall, you reshape it. Details blur, emotions tint, fragments shift. You believe you are looking back, but you are always looking through the lens of the present. The past is not fixed in your mind. It is alive, changing as you change. This is why siblings can remember the same event differently, why friends recall a conversation in contrasting ways. Each memory is filtered through self, through emotion, through perspective. The past is many versions, not one. And so, in a sense, you are constantly rewriting it. The same is true of the future. You imagine it, plan it, anticipate it, but those images are not fixed either. They evolve as you evolve. What you once feared may become what you now desire. What you once longed for may lose meaning. The future shifts with you. In this way, both past and future live only in the present, memory recalled now, possibility imagined now. The present is all there is, yet within it lies everything. This brings you to a quiet realization. The present is not small. It is vast. It is not a razor-thin instant between past and future. It is a field, a horizon where both touch you. When you rest fully in the present, you hold eternity in your hands. And yet so often you race ahead. You think of tasks undone, of goals not reached, of time slipping away. You feel pressure as though you are losing something. But what if time is not something you can lose? What if it is something you are? Consider again the block universe, the idea that all moments exist at once. From this view, nothing is lost. Every laugh, every tear, every quiet evening still exists, woven into the structure. You pass through, but the moments remain. You are not leaving them behind. You are carrying them always. Imagine walking through a gallery. Each painting is hung, complete, waiting. You move from one to another, seeing them in sequence, but the whole gallery is already there. Life may be like that. Each moment a painting already hung. You walk through, seeing them one by one, but none vanish. Does this erase choice? Not necessarily. Perhaps your choices themselves are part of the gallery painted into the structure. The freedom you feel is real, but it exists within the larger design. You are both the viewer and the painting, both the traveler and the gallery. And then, consider quantum physics once more. At the smallest scale, particles do not follow simple lines. They exist in superpositions, probabilities. Only when observed do they appear definite. Some suggest the universe itself is like this, many possible futures branching, with your observation shaping which unfolds. If so, then time is not fixed paintings but living branches, growing as you move. You do not need to decide which vision is true. Whether block or branch, gallery or tree, both carry wonder. Both remind you that time is not as simple as clocks suggest. It is larger, stranger, more alive. Now think of your relationship to time emotionally. Joy expands it, waiting stretches it, boredom slows it, fear freezes it. Love makes it eternal. Each emotion bends time subjectively, even while the clock ticks evenly. This is why moments with those you love feel timeless, while anxious minutes crawl. You are not bound only by outer time. You shape your inner time. And perhaps this shaping is what truly matters. The minutes you count on clocks fade. The moments you feel deeply remain. Time lived is not measured in length but in depth. A short life filled with presence may be richer than a long life filled with absence. So when you feel rushed, when you feel behind, remember, you cannot fall behind in your own time. Your rhythm is yours. Your life unfolds as it must. Comparison to others is meaningless. Each person lives in their own stream, their own now. Close your eyes and breathe. Notice how each inhale feels like a beginning, each exhale like an ending. Birth and death in miniature. Yet together they form a cycle, endless, sustaining. Time is in your lungs, moving with you, carrying you gently. Notice too how the pause between breaths feels timeless, a stillness, a quiet gap. In that space, time seems to soften. It is a reminder that within motion there is rest, within time there is eternity. This is why meditation so often returns to breath. It is a clock you always carry, one that teaches you both movement and stillness. It reminds you that you are time and you are also beyond time. Step back once more to the cosmos. Stars burn and fade, galaxies merge, black holes form, the universe expands. These events take billions of years, yet they too are cycles. Matter transforms, energy shifts, patterns repeat. Time at the cosmic scale is rhythm just as it is at the personal scale. The same song, different tempos. Your atoms were forged in ancient stars. They lived other lives before you. They will live other lives after you. You are one arrangement of them, one rhythm in their endless dance. In this way, you are timeless. You do not end, you change. So time is both fragile and eternal. Fragile in your perception, fleeting in your days, eternal in its flow, unending in its transformations. You hold both truths, and as the sleepy narrator reminds you, this is not something to fear. Time is not your enemy. It is your being. It is not running away. It is carrying you gently like a current carries a leaf. You do not need to chase it. You only need to trust it. Rest now in that current. Rest in the truth that you are exactly where you need to be. The past is within you, the future ahead, but the present holds them both. The present is wide enough for everything. So let go, drift, breathe, and allow yourself to sleep within the rhythm of time. Time surrounds you, yet it also slips through your fingers. You try to hold on, to capture it in photographs, journals, memories. But no matter how tightly you cling, it moves. And still, even as it moves, it leaves traces, moments that shape who you are, impressions that linger in your mind. Think of the way light travels. When you look at the stars, you are not seeing them as they are now. You are seeing them as they were years, centuries, even millennia ago. Light carries their past to you, a delayed gift across space. In this sense, you are always gazing into history. The night sky is a memory written in starlight. And just as you see the past in the stars, others will see the past in you. The light you reflect, the actions you take, ripple outward. Words spoken, kindness given, choices made, they carry forward, influencing futures you may never witness. You are not separate from time's web. You are part of it, woven in. This is why every moment matters. Even the smallest gesture echoes. A smile can ripple through a day, a kind word through a lifetime. Time magnifies what you place into it. And yet, you often feel as though you are racing against time, struggling to keep pace, fearing there is not enough. But what if you have always been within enough? What if time itself cannot be lost or gained, only lived? Consider again relativity. For a traveler near the speed of light, years can pass in moments. For one standing still, the same interval stretches. Both are true, both are valid. Time is not one pace for all. It bends to circumstance. So perhaps in your life, too, there is no single correct pace. Perhaps your rhythm, however fast or slow, is the right one for you. This truth softens the pressure. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly where your time carries you. Now think of cycles once again. Day and night. Seasons turning, birth and death. All flow in repeating patterns, yet no cycle is identical. Each sunrise is new, each season unique, each life unrepeatable. Time repeats and never repeats. It is both circle and line. This duality is why you can feel comfort in repetition, yet also wonder in change. The familiar grounds you, the new awakens you. Together they weave balance. Without repetition, life would be chaos. Without change, it would be stagnant. Time gives you both. Zoom outward further. Civilizations rise and fall. Languages grow, shift, fade. Art is created, lost, rediscovered. Knowledge is built, forgotten, rebuilt. Humanity itself moves through cycles, yet always differently. Each age believes itself unique, yet echoes remain from those before. You live in patterns larger than yourself, even as you shape them with your own choices. And beyond humanity lies Earth's cycles, ice ages, shifting continents, evolving life. Entire species rise and vanish, entire ecosystems transform. Still, the planet continues, rhythm upon rhythm. You are part of its current moment, one chapter in its vast timeline. And beyond Earth, the cosmos unfolds. Stars ignite, burn, collapse. Galaxies spiral and merge. Black holes swallow light, then slowly release energy across eons. Time here is incomprehensible, stretching so far beyond human scale that it humbles you. Yet you, with your brief life, can imagine it. That imagination itself is extraordinary. The universe, through you, can reflect on its own vastness. Pause here. Breathe. Feel yourself between scales, both fleeting and infinite. Your heartbeat measures seconds. Your mind imagines billions of years. You live at the meeting point of the smallest now and the largest forever. And consider again how your perception bends time. Waiting for news makes each minute heavy. Joy makes hours vanish. Fear drags time slow while wonder makes it soar. You do not merely live in time, you shape it, feel it, bend it. Inner time and outer time dance together, sometimes in harmony, sometimes in tension. Perhaps this is why presence matters. When you are present fully here, without rushing to what's next, time feels rich. A single moment opens wide, holding depth. When you are absent, lost in worry, distracted, time collapses, vanishes. The difference is not in the clock but in your attention. Attention, then, may be the key to timelessness. Focus deeply and time seems to pause. Lose focus and it slips away. This is why flow states, moments of complete absorption in art, music, work, feel timeless. You are not counting minutes, you are living them. And in this sense, eternity is not only in the far future or infinite past. It is here, hidden in the depth of presence. A single breath can hold forever if lived fully. Now return once more to physics. Entropy gives time its arrow, but at the deepest level the equations care little for direction. Time might be two-way or even timeless altogether. What you feel as flow could be perception, not reality. If so, then the past and future are not so different. They may coexist, simply unseen from your narrow window. Quantum mechanics suggests strangeness too. Delayed choice experiments hint that future measurements shape present outcomes. Entanglement links particles instantly, across distance, defying normal flow. These glimpses whisper that time is not a straight path but a tapestry, threads weaving in directions you cannot fully grasp. What would it mean if the future touched the present, if the past remained alive, if all moments existed at once? It would mean you are never truly separated from what has been or what will be. It would mean connection is deeper than you realize. And perhaps you already feel this. Intuition, déjà vu, dreams that seem to predict, these may be glimpses of time's wider structure. Science may one day explain them fully. Or perhaps they will remain mysteries, part of the poetry of existence. Either way, they remind you that time is not simple, but complexity need not unsettle you. It can comfort you, for it means you are never trapped, never bound. Time holds more than you see, more than you measure. It holds possibilities, connections, layers. It holds you gently, carrying you forward. So tonight, as the sleepy narrator speaks, let this thought rest in you. You are not outside of time, racing against it. You are inside it, part of it, one with it. Time is not slipping away. Time is flowing through you and you through it. Let that flow cradle you. Let it slow your thoughts, ease your breath, soften your body. You are safe in its current. You are the river itself. Time can feel like a mystery too vast to hold, yet it is also the most intimate thing you know. It beats in your chest, it breathes in your lungs, it moves in your thoughts. You cannot step outside of it, for it is the fabric of your life. And yet, you can pause, you can notice, you can rest within it. Think of a clock's pendulum swinging. Each swing is steady, predictable, regular. But when you live within those swings, you do not feel them as numbers, you feel them as moments. A shared laugh, a glance of kindness, a quiet breath. Time is not measured only by ticks but by meaning, and meaning is what transforms time from emptiness into story. Without meaning, time is bare sequence. With meaning, it is memory, history, life. You are the one who gives time shape, who turns passing moments into something more. This shaping is not small. It is the essence of being human. You carry the power to look back, to imagine forward, to place yourself in narrative. You are both participant and storyteller, both actor and witness. Time allows this dual role, and in it, you find identity. Now reflect on how your perception stretches and compresses. Waiting in line may feel endless, though only minutes pass. A holiday may feel fleeting, though days go by. The difference is attention. Time lived fully feels long, time lived absent feels short. This is why mindfulness teaches presence, not to control time but to experience it. When you are here now, you feel the richness of each second. You discover that even the simplest act, drinking water, listening to wind, can open wide when noticed. The moment expands, and in this expansion you find relief. You are no longer racing against hours. You are no longer fearing loss. You are dwelling in what is, and what is holds enough. Zoom out again. The universe tells time in stars. They burn hydrogen into helium, slowly shifting, glowing, aging. Some live billions of years, some only millions. When they collapse, they scatter elements, seeding worlds, seeding life. Your body is built from this timework: carbon, oxygen, iron forged in stellar hearts. You are living stardust shaped by cosmic clocks. The Earth, too, keeps its own time. Tectonic plates drift, mountains rise and erode, seas advance and retreat. These rhythms are beyond human scale, yet you walk upon them every day. Your moment rests on ages. And yet, even as ages pass, here you are, feeling a heartbeat. The vast and the fleeting are not separate. They are one story told at different tempos. You live at their intersection where eternity and instant meet. Consider again Einstein's insight, that time and space form a single fabric. This fabric bends under mass and motion, shaping gravity, shaping flow. To move through space is to move through time. To rest in gravity is to rest in slowed time. The universe does not separate them, only perception does. And what of black holes, those extreme bends? Near them, time nearly halts relative to far observers. A clock falling and ticks slower, slower, until it seems to freeze at the horizon. To the falling clock itself, time flows normally. Both views are true. Time there is perspective, not absolute. This duality challenges your sense of reality. You want one truth, one flow. But physics shows many truths, many flows, each bound to viewpoint. There is no master time, only woven perspectives. So what does this mean for you? It means time is not an enemy, not a wall closing in. It is a dimension you share, a fabric you move within. It bends, it flexes, but it holds you. And perhaps in ways you cannot see, it holds you beyond death as well. Matter does not vanish. Energy does not vanish. They change form, they move, they continue. If you are made of them, then you too continue. Not in the same shape, not in the same awareness, but in some way beyond the tick of your personal clock. Time transforms you, but it does not erase you. Think of waves upon the ocean. One rises, crests, falls. To the eye, it ends. But in truth, it becomes part of other waves, other currents. Nothing is lost, only reshaped. So too with you. You are a wave in the ocean of time, and when you fall, you return to the sea. Let this comfort you. You are not fighting against time. You are living as time. You are its momentary crest, its fleeting beauty. And when you rest tonight, let yourself sink into this truth. The sleepy narrator reminds you that you are safe in the flow, carried gently. You are not behind, not ahead. You are exactly where you are meant to be. So breathe. Let go of the need to measure. Let go of the need to control. Time is holding you. Always has, always will. Time has been your companion from the beginning. From your very first breath to this moment now, it has carried you, unseen but constant. You cannot step away from it, yet you can learn to feel it differently, to soften into it, to rest in its rhythm. Think once more of memory. Each recall is not a perfect playback but a reconstruction, a story told anew. In this way, your past is alive, not static. It shifts as you shift, adapts as you grow. And perhaps this is not a flaw but a gift. Memory's change allows healing, allows meaning, allows growth. A wound remembered differently becomes a lesson. A joy remembered deepens into gratitude. The past is never gone. It is always becoming. And what of the future? You imagine it in countless forms, weaving possibilities. Some will unfold, others will not. Yet the act of imagining itself is powerful. It guides your choices, your actions, your path. The future is not fixed, yet it is not empty. It is a field of seeds, and your attention is the sunlight. So you live always at the crossing point, past alive in memory, future alive in vision, both meeting in the present. The present, then, is not narrow. It is vast. It contains everything. And what is the present made of? Sensation, breath, awareness. Feel your breath again, air moving in and out, steady, ancient. Every inhale connects you to the world, every exhale releases you to it. Breath is time made visible. It is your body's clock, your tide. Listen to your heartbeat. It has kept rhythm without pause, marking every moment of your life. Faster with excitement, slower with rest, but always there. It is your inner metronome, your music of time. These rhythms remind you that time is not abstract. It is embodied. It is here. You do not need equations to know it. You need only to feel your own pulse, your own breath, your own awareness of this moment. And yet step outward once more. The universe too has rhythm. Expansion, cooling, formation, decay. The arrow of time carried by entropy, the cycles of stars, the drift of galaxies. You live within these vast motions, though they unfold far beyond your scale. You are a flicker within billions of years, yet that flicker is part of the story. Black holes, stars, galaxies, all are clocks of a kind. Each marks time in its transformations. Even the smallest particle vibrates, oscillates, keeping rhythm. Time is the measure of all becoming, from the tiniest quark to the largest cluster of galaxies. And within it, you are one more rhythm, one more song. Theories tell you that perhaps all moments exist together, that time is a block, complete and whole. Others suggest branching futures, endless possibilities diverging. Still others whisper that time may not exist at all, that it is only an illusion born of change. These are mysteries unsolved, perhaps unsolvable. But whether time is absolute or illusion, whether it flows or stands still, one truth remains: you experience it. You live it. You are it. And that experience is sacred. For within time, you love, you learn, you dream, you rest. Without time, none of this could be. Time is the stage on which your life unfolds, the medium in which consciousness paints its story. So let go of fearing it. Let go of fighting it. There is nothing to resist. Time is not rushing past you, it is carrying you. It is not stealing from you, it is giving you every moment you have ever known. Think of this night. It will become memory soon, folded into your story. But even then, it will not vanish. It will live within you, reshaped, recalled, alive. And perhaps if the universe holds all moments, it will live forever, even if unseen. So rest now in the flow. Rest knowing that you are not separate from time. You are the wave and the ocean, the clock and the moment, the past and the future. You are both fleeting and eternal. Breathe gently. Feel your body soften. Feel your thoughts slow. Time holds you gently, quietly. The sleepy narrator leaves you here, safe in the river of moments carried toward rest. You do not need to control the flow. You do not need to measure it. You only need to drift. Sleep, take gentle care of yourself, rest deeply, and allow time to carry you peacefully through the night. Until then, I will be here waiting, and I will see you in the next story.